Join the Bannished. Available now on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Become a member or staff and receive exclusive videos, one-on-one messaging, help act in cinematics, shoutouts, and more. Click the link in the description to become Bannished today. Our brand new Discord server is live. Come hang out and chat with like-minded savages. And finally, enjoy the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have quite the exciting announcement. Need a base that will crush the minds of your enemies? Aren't you sick of the pesky offlines and building the same boring 2x2? Well, look no further, because Bannful will teach you how to transform this dirtball rock into a floor-stacked bachelor pad that will have a line out the door begging for a base tour. And enough honeycomb to leave the raiders scratching their olive-sized nutsack, wondering who built this fucking base. Manny the handyman? Well, what are you waiting for? His brand new video is out now, and be sure to like and subscribe. He mentioned I would get some money, and god damn it, I need it. My wife left, and I hate this job.
It is so good to see you guys once again. I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro cinematic type of ordeal. I just had fun with it. I wasn't going into it thinking I was going to make this crazy thing, but I just kind of got lost in the process. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And today we have a little bit of a different type of video. They recently just teased this new map that will be coming to main branch very soon called Donut Island. And with this comes a whole bunch of new features like caves, different types of rock formations to build in. And since we are kind of limited right now with the servers and the maps that are on console Rust right now, I wanted to bring this video out to you guys to show you that you can make some crazy, strong, almost borderline unraidable bases. And so that's what this video is all about. I'm going to show you guys how to build in some of the different formations around the map, and also make crack bases and all kinds of crazy different types of bases that are still incredibly strong. I also want to mention really quick, thank you guys so much for all the support on my last video. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. I'll have it linked in the description. But I know a lot of you guys are wanting longer videos, and I promise you that from this point further that they will be much longer. So stay tuned for that, and finally enjoy the video. Alright, so the first rock formation we're going to be talking about is something that I call a unique rock formation. Now this is usually made out of two different rocks that come together to make a super small kind of space like this, whoops, like right here, that you could fit a TC, and you can also build all the way around this, and you can also floor stack these rock formations. It's super easy to floor stack, and these bases become unraidable, just incredibly strong, and you can just continue out this way with honeycomb. Now these don't spawn in every single map guaranteed. The way that you find these is if you have to go on your map. Let me go ahead and delete this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And let me move out of the way. So if you go on your map, you're looking for formations that are dark in color like this. And they're dark like this in the desert, but these can spawn all throughout any sort of biome, the grasslands and also the snow. Alright, the next formation I'm going to show you guys is the normal rock formations. Now these only spawn in the desert, and they are all over the desert maps. Now these are pretty common, like I said, and you can build some pretty cool different types of designs with the gap that you have here. And I'll show you guys that when we get to building in this. But you can also floor stack this. These are incredibly easy to floor stack, and you can pretty much floor stack any type of design, whether you want to start with, you know, square floors or triangle floors. It's super easy, and these are very common throughout the desert, and these only spawn in the desert. Alright guys, the third and final rock formation is called the crack rock formation, and these are the hardest out of the three in order to build in. And not every map is going to have cracks like this for you to build in. For example, how you would find these on the map is you're looking for this type of rock formation that you see. These circles that are heavily outlined and very close by. So an example would be like this here. these cliff faces here, 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 and these normally spawn in the snow in my experience, but they can also spawn in the grasslands, but they're much shorter in the grasslands, so not really as many spaces for there to be a crack in. But you may look at this crack and be like, what the hell, what can you build inside this thing? And I'm going to show you guys exactly how I would build in something like this. And hey, a little bit of foreshadowing, we do this in some future videos, so stay tuned. These bases are super deceptive. Raiders don't know what is floor stacked, what is half walled. It is so confusing. Next, I want to show you guys how I would build in a normal rock base like this. And I actually made a video of building in one of these and living in it through a wipe, and I was actually raided, but that was kind of a fault of my own because that was my first time building in something like this, and I have a lot more experience now in building in these. So first things first, obviously I recommend only building with your triangle foundations. They're just the best, and it's easier to add these foundations everywhere and make super strong design. So this is kind of like the main design I would rock in a rock formation. A gap like this to fit. Honestly, you can make this gap even bigger if you guys wanted to. Like something like this. Let's see if we can try that again and get that last foundation in there. Yeah, something like this would be crazy. So the more foundations we can fit in the rock, the better the stability. And also a gap like this, you could even fit 2 more foundations back here, which would house the TC, which is super cool. I'm gonna add my walls really quick. And these walls can be pretty hard to, access, but it is possible. You just kind of have to look around and jump up. Something that's completely engulfed in the wall like this, where you can barely see, it can still be done, but it is quite difficult. I think we're gonna go just something like this for now. Boom, something like that, perfect. Let's get these upgraded, and we're gonna add a window. Like that, perfect. Now here you could add, if there's enough room, you could add a oil refinery if you have one. Let's see if we can actually fit one, that'd be cool. It can be kind of hard, especially with this rock. It is kind of unforgiving, so that might be a little bit more difficult. But you could just fill this gap up here with as many of these furnaces if you wanted to, and just keep pumping metal frags, sulfur, insanely. Then you could also add more protection here for the honeycomb or the TC. This could also be, spot for some more boxes too. Just like that. Now for your bunker that would come off the floor stack. Looks something like this. Now this would stay wood so that you can add a floor stack. Okay, so this is what we're looking like for so far. Pretty hard to tell exactly what's going on in here. But yeah, super cool. You have room for a workbench, sleeping bags, boxes. TC's pretty secure. So let's go ahead and add our floor stack. Now this is the format that I do to floor stack any base. There's different ways of doing it, but on console it can be super finicky. So I kind of always do it the same way. And it's worked for me pretty well so far. So, like this. Actually, let me keep this. Show you guys what it would look like. Oh shit, I actually added a little extra on this side. Alright. So this is what it would actually look like. Something like this. Low walls on this side, and now this is the setup that we need. Now, if you guys have never done this before, it's going to take a lot of practice, so I recommend going into a build server like I'm doing now to practice on not only the rock formations, but also if you're trying to add floor stacking to it. So we slowly back up. Can't place a foundation there, so it is placed incorrectly. Want to position ourselves pretty far back. And what turns blue is when we want to build it immediately, not sit there and hover. Now this is very difficult with this rock formation because sometimes you can't tell if this doesn't fit because of the rock formation or the wall, but it's giving me the error that I can't build there, so it tells me that it's the rock formation. But as you can see, you can lower it and it would work, so you would have to go somewhere nearby, sorry, from underneath to kind of put that lower one, which I would recommend definitely trying to get that down, because the more that we can fit foundations on each side of our build to add the floor stack, the more the stability will be to reach the back of here. So we might not even have enough stability to reach the back of the TC, because if we built it too far away from the front, the stability is going to be very hard to reach with these foundations. And that's just kind of the name of the game with this. But let's see if we can fit it with this. All right, make sure we upgrade this one. So, first things first, this would be chopped out. This would be the new way up. Like that. This would be the bunker now. You can also fit even more furnaces down here. So if you wanted to leave this a little bit or more open, you could honestly fit something like this too, which would be a super cool spot. The workbenches are pretty lenient on fitting in this gap here. Let me show you. Tier 3 fits almost perfectly, like really hidden into the wall. Boxes, on the other hand, can be a little bit difficult to fit with the rocks. You could fit a box there. See if you can fit two, maybe. Now, you probably wouldn't be able to fit two here with this specific setup, but yeah, you could cover all this with boxes down here, boxes up here, tier 3 over here. You still have room for your furnaces, and this is because we placed our starting foundations high enough. And if you can't place this here and you really want to fit your 3 furnaces here, make sure you keep this foundation here wood. For example, if it still won't place, then you just easily chop this wood out and you can fit all 3, and then you can add back your foundations. So as you can see, this one probably isn't going to fit. Let me delete it. Turn the furnaces. Might have to pick this one up here on the side. It's super lenient once you destroy that back foundation. Now we can upgrade it. Alright, so let's get our ladder. wall frame like that, or door frame. Also, make sure you place your floor not like this. You want it to be sunk into the frame like that. And now you can add walls here, but I now recommend to try and build up this side, which can be kind of difficult, as you can see, because there's really not enough room to try and place that. You might have to come from the top like this. Let's see if we can get it. It can be super difficult. We just place that so I stop getting the error. Sometimes half walls fit a lot easier. Sometimes not. Might only be able to place one here, which is still fine because we can still get some stability out of it. But let me see if there's a way that I can do this. This is the hardest part of building in these rocks, is trying to get walls down that are sunk so far into the formation. It can be such a pain. You see it just says can't build here, can't build here. Placing through rock. But yeah, we'll just go like that. That's fine. But now the main thing is covering these gaps like this, because this is where your floor stack's coming from. Now this side might not have enough stability, which I am worried about, but that's just kind of the nature of the game. Let's see, 18 stability. It's gonna be tight for sure. Let me see if I can add a wall here. Oh yeah, we don't even have a foundation in the back, so. I'm just gonna get rid of this for aesthetic purposes. So yeah, something like this. Now when you come in here, add a lowered floor triangle frame here. Also add stability inside. So I don't think it's gonna reach all the way back there. Yeah, so we're not able to floor stack this back space, which kind of sucks. And also we can't access this, you know, the floor stack here because it is half-walled. So if we were to kind of redo this, then you would be able to access it. So I mean, you could just do something like this and then later on add your half walls like that. So now TC is floor stacked. It's 3 floors already right now from top down. The only problem is this section here, you can't floor stack it. So truthfully, I would probably just go like this, like that. You know, them picking the exact perfect triangle, I mean, it's a little bit unlikely, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's kind of the basis of it there. And then obviously just honeycomb everywhere, right? All this honeycomb coming off. If you can't put something there, build around it like that, and you can just make something crazy. Also continuing the floor stack up. So here you could add electric furnaces here. We'll go something like that. Right? Make sure you add your floors on top too to protect it. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, guys. And you would just keep building out your honeycomb on each side. Definitely keep these sides as well protected as you can, because a raider is most likely going to blow in through the sides here. If they don't know what floor stacking is, they might try blowing straight down, but they can try. Because for the cost of it, man, you can just floor stack, and sooner or later you're at 6 floors going straight down, and dude, no one's going to be messing with that. These are also such a pain in the ass bases to raid, and a lot of times bigger groups, they just don't find it. They don't see that it's going to be profitable. Also, a good thing about these bases is that they're built in the desert, and just look at the amount of nodes here in the desert, okay? Like, you can just get so much sulfur, so much stone, and there's bases all over. So you could build something just like that and keep it just like that, and then build another one, spread your loot out, and at least you won't most likely be raided both bases, you know what I mean? Okay, so the first thing that you guys need to learn is that if you go underneath the map, you'll see what I'm talking about, that it needs to be in the ground, and it's almost impossible to get pieces way back here into the ground because of how much this rock face slopes. And obviously you can't just clip through the ground to build. So how you would build something like this is now we got our floor there. Got a floor there. Something like that is exactly what we're looking for. Now make sure you don't just upgrade everything, because the foundations that you place around it are extremely difficult to place, and if you upgrade something, you may not be able to place something else. So now that we know that we can fit something like this here, I'm going to go ahead and just delete some of the foundations so we can try and, you know, kind of keep this template here. Also, I would recommend adding your half walls all the way around this first foundation to improve the stability, which is going to be super important. And keep in mind that you would be doing, you know, this with a 2x1 nearby so that you don't, you know, try and freehand something like this with all your resources on you. And it definitely would be a struggle, that's for sure. Okay, so something like that. Now leaving this stone is fine because you know, a raider isn't going to blow through this foundation at all. So you'd be good in that regard. But now let's see how we would add more. So we could add a floor there and upgrade this sort of stuff like that. Now we need to worry about building foundations up here and also up here, which is even higher than that side. And it can be quite difficult. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. First things first, if you have the button on your controller that you can raise and lower foundations, for me, mine is, I would have to look really quick. Oh, it's going to be your crouch button, and then also your RB or right bumper for me. So yeah, we raise this, and then we can build all the way around here like this. Now we can't put these two foundations because of these right here, which is fine. And if this is done properly, we can also have floating foundations across the top like this. This is exactly what we want. Now each crack is going to be different too, so I definitely recommend to play around in a build server with different cracks to try and find which one that, you know, works best and how to like kind of master it. So sometimes you can't put something here because of how close it is. So this isn't like considered terrain, which is really weird. But if you can't place something, you're going to have to, you know, raise it and lower it, which is, you know, a common thing with this. So yeah, which makes it almost impossible to kind of read what you're building. Like a raider's going to be incredibly confused on what the hell they're looking at or how to raid something like this. And obviously, not all these foundations are going to stay either. So once we get everything connected like that, we can kind of go through and delete the extra foundations for now that, you know, aren't doing a whole bunch, so that we can, you know, visually see the direction we want to go with the bases on. So I would go something like this first off, and just kind of see what I'm thinking of. Now, if we're going to continue working on this stuff, let's see. So like I said, you can't add floors because of this foundation. So that's why you want to be kind of careful on what you add and upgrade. So let's see. Oh, it's this one here. Okay, boom. So we got our foundation and our floor here. And on this side, I would probably make my TC like right here. So we can upgrade that wall there and then upgrade this back foundation. And we can also add a floor just like that. Same thing with this. And like that. And before I continue building, I want to see if I can make sure that we can add a floor here and here. Because right here, keep in mind we can't add our you know, our foundations here. So this is a kind of a weak side, if you will. So adding these floors like this is going to definitely make the base a lot stronger. All right, so I'm going to add my TC in this gap here. Can be kind of picky with the foundations. So I can't fit a window there unless I were to turn the TC like this, which isn't the end of the world. We can do that. And honestly, you could probably fit maybe not a vending machine bunker because of this rock, keeping this TC from going further in. But, you know, something like that would do pretty well. All right, now we can add our floors all the way across. And keep in mind that this problem was the same as the other side. We couldn't add our foundations, which is fine, because we can do that. We're going to add these back that I deleted. And also, for these types of crack bases, you guys can kind of play around and see if you can add floor stack. I have yet to find a way that works with these because a lot of these foundations are completely, you know, different sizes. So it's very hard to have the same floor stack size all the way around. And also with this cliff, this front side, it's almost impossible to fit it here. So let's go back inside here. Now I want to add a bunker here because it's going to make our base significantly stronger. So adding something like that would be perfect. I'm just going to upgrade this stuff right away. And since we can't, let me see if I can add a floor here. I might not be able to because of stability. All right, we're good. I can add a floor there. This is exactly what we're looking like. And look at this cool spot right here. You can add a bunch of things here. So you could do, let's say, a window like this to access crates up here. You could do a, you know, door frame. Let me add boxes up there for you guys. So I really like playing around with these little rocks because, like, dude, you can do some crazy shit in here. Like that. You also can fit a lot of furnaces pretty easy in these faces like this. So you could really like freehand something insane here. You could add shelves all the way throughout here with more crates. Like you could really make something crazy here. And I mean, it's just awesome to build and stuff like this. If you guys have never built in a rock like this, like, or tried to, or you think it's stupid, like, dude, try it. Like, you'd be surprised how many of these bases stand because of just how unique that they are and confusing. So then you can get your tier 2. I'm just gonna throw down to tier 3. You know, you got room for tier 3. We could put it like something like this. Access to that. Access to all this. You got your bags in here. Really design this however you guys want. And then this is pretty simple bunker setup here. So you put that floor there or that wall there. Pretty normal foundation bunker. And then if you were to destroy this here, that would break. But keep in mind that the only way this works is if you have enough stability here for this top half floor, or half wall, sorry. All right, now that we got that, like I said, I like to destroy these extra foundations around that we don't need at the moment, just to kind of keep the vision clear. Now, I personally would add a pancake layer here, like that, which just makes the base even stronger, which is exactly what we're going for on a base design like this. Now, normally you could add floor stack all the way through to protect these foundations even more. So like something like on this side, I would definitely add to protect the bunker. Keep in mind, like, let's say they were to, for some reason, go through foundations, which, I mean, doesn't make much sense. They would have access to these crates here. So we need to make sure that these more important foundations are actually pancake layered. So I, myself, would probably just add Pancake layer to everything. And also adding these half walls in between will make the stability stronger, because keep in mind that we're kind of building on not so much a flat or strong foundation. So we've got floors like hanging and different things like that. So yeah. I'm just gonna add it to all of this, which is ultimately going to increase the upkeep, but it's definitely worth the protection and also the stability. As you can see, it is quite a unique and different looking. As you can see, this thing is looking pretty interesting. So at this point, it's pretty obvious that to the untrained eye, this might just look like a normal, like this is the core right here, you know, and it's just honeycomb around. But some people might notice that these are half walls on top of foundations, which either like it's super open inside here or what, but this still looks obvious that it's half walled and that if you continue going lower, you're going to get to the core. So now we need to build, you know, our walls around to try and like hide the fact that it is exactly that. So I normally would do, let's see. We want to protect this right here for sure. So let's go ahead and add our foundations. Add something there. And you can really play around with this, because keep in mind we can add honeycomb all the way around this thing. So I probably would make this the main loot room here, this circle kind of formation, like that. Obviously a doorway somewhere around here that we can maybe like loop it around this way would be pretty nice. And this could be your main kind of open core, mini open core of your base. You would keep maybe more of your comps and some of your extra weapons, and then when you log off through the night, a lot of your most important stuff would be down here, littered with boxes for extra protection and stuff like that. This is a good spot for, you could even add your electric furnaces. You could have 6 on each side for a total of 12 if you wanted to, or just do, you know, 6 on one side, battery on this side maybe. This is pretty strong and also acts as honeycomb. Main core would be here. You continue out with this door path. And then off of these, you could have your next jump up. So yeah, just adding honeycomb all the way around this thing. Different, trying to keep it the same level, but you might not be able to. Would be crazy. And that's kind of like the main gist of it. And you can really kind of expand however you want, adding different things. You know, multiple levels. You can even add a shoot floor up here. Just kind of doing whatever you guys want to do, and you can just continue unlimitedly adding honeycomb all the way, whatever way you wanted to. Add an oil refinery in there, like you have unlimited space to really do whatever you want. Same thing with the top. You can add even more pancake layers or anything crazy like that. You can see upkeep is not bad. Like in terms of what it is already, like this thing is strong as fuck. And super hard to raid, super difficult to kind of predict where things are. That's why some of these bases are just, you know, an absolute pain in the ass to raid. And right now it doesn't even look like a base that would be, you know, in a crack. Like it's almost impossible to tell, except from this side. What you would add honeycomb and it would be almost impossible to tell where the hidden core is. And yeah, super cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you took a few things from it and maybe learned something. And if you guys made it this far into the video, comment the word Manny the Builder. But yeah, we'll be back to our normal scheduled solo wipes after this video, so stay tuned for those, guys. And I hope to see some of these bases out in the weeklies and the monthly servers. I think it's super cool and quite exciting to build in terrain like this. And I'm excited for what the future holds. So thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.